Hello and welcome to Sports 360. I'm your host Ahmed Ahmad. Here's Australia versus South Africa. Yes, Australia beat South Africa by 17 runs and making it ninth consecutive victory for Australia in T20 International. After being put into bat first, Australia for the first time in history were bowled out inside 20 overs. Yes, Australia scored 178 and were all out on the last ball of their inning. 178 thanks to Tim David brilliant knock of 83. Yes, he hit eight sixes and four fours. What a brilliant knock, along with another Australian batsman. Yes, Cameron Green, who scored a good inning, and they both take their total to a respectable, which they defended in the end, 178. But the start was brilliant. They scored their second highest run in power play, 72. Australia were for the loss of six wicket. Yes, although they scored 72, but they have lost six wicket, and that is what they have the price to pay. By scoring runs, going for the boundaries, but Australia played throughout their innings with intent, and thanks to Tim David. But the on the other hand, looking at the South African bowler, Quina Mafaka was the youngest bowler to capture a four-wicket haul in a T20 international. At 19, he was brilliant. From his first two overs, he gave away only two runs and captured one wicket. But in his remaining two overs, he conceded another 22. And from his quota of four overs, at the finish of Australia's first inning, his figures was 1 for 24 from four overs. Australia extended their T20 match winning streak to record nine games and pulled off their lowest successful defense against South Africa, despite losing six wickets inside the first eight overs. Amid an explosive start, Australia stumbled to 75 for six. Tim David superbly constructed 52 ball 83 and seventh wicket stand of 59, with Ben Dawes took them to match winning total, and Mitchell Marsh has now 22 victories out of 25 matches as Australia's T20 captain. So the whole Australian performance was brilliant, and Australia went on to win the match by 17 runs. Some analysis, match in detail, where I can tell you what went wrong for South Africa. The number of boundaries the South Africans conceded was the main difference between the two teams. And the Australian hit 13 sixes as compared to South Africa, who could only hit two sixes. And from the first power play, which is first six overs, Australia scored 71 for the loss of four wickets. And in comparison, South Africa scored 48 runs and have lost three wickets. Middle part of the inning, from over number 11 to, yes, Australia scored 78 for three. From over number 7 to over number 15, Australia scored 78 for the loss of three wickets. And South Africa were not far behind. They also scored 75 but have lost four wickets. And in the final four overs, Australia scored 29 runs and have lost three wickets. And South Africa made 38 and have lost two. And when it comes to sixes, as I already told you, Australian batsmen hit 13 sixes and South Africa could only hit just two sixes. And when it comes to boundaries, fours, Australia hit 12 fours and South Africa hit 17 fours. Run in boundaries, Australia scored 126 runs in boundaries, and in comparison, South Africa could only hit 80 runs in boundaries. 49% dot balls for Australia and 38% dot balls for South Africa, and runs in extras 12 for Australia and 11 for South Africa. Nothing much difference between the two. Looking at the partnership, Mitchell Marsh and Tim David put on 15 runs for the opening wicket. Then Mitchell Marsh and Josh English could only add just one run for the second wicket. But the third wicket between Mitchell Marsh and Cameron Green added 14 runs from just five balls. And the main partnership between Tim David and Cameron Green added 40 from just 16 balls. Cameron Green contributed 21 of 9 balls and Tim David 18 of 7 balls. Then they had a substantial partnership, the seventh wicket partnership of 59 of 42 balls between Tim David and Ben Dawes. And Ben Dawes 17 of 19, while Tim David was going berserk, scoring 36 of 23 balls. And another eight wicket partnership of 30 of 23 between Nathan Ellis and Tim David. And Nathan Ellis only added one, while Tim David was the main scorer, scoring 28 runs, and Australia managed to score 178. And now looking at the South African partnership, only one substantial partnership, and which is for the fourth wicket between Tristan Stubb and Ryan Clayton. They added 72 of 52 balls, Tristan Stubb 37 of 27, and Ryan Clayton 33 of 25 balls, while ninth wicket partnership also added 35 of 20, but the match was won by Australia. Australia easily beat South Africa, and the whole story is looking at the scorecard where Australia dominated South Africa. Batting first, Australia scored 178 for and were all out in 20 overs, scoring their runs at 8.90 runs per over. Looking at the South African bowling, Lungi Nigiri, 3 overs, 34 runs and 1 wicket. Kagiso Rabada, 4 overs, 29 runs and 2 wicket. Then George Linda, 2 overs, 26 runs and 1 wicket. Corbin Bosch, 3 overs, 44 runs and no wicket. Kwaina Mafaka was the pick of the South African bowling at 19. He was very impressive, giving away just 20 runs from his quota of 4 overs, but capturing 4 wickets. And then Sinuran Matsusami, 4 overs, 24 runs and 1 wicket. And in reply, South Africa chasing a target of 179 but only scored 161 for the loss of 9 wickets. And the main scorer was Ryan Clayton, who scored 71 of 55 balls, hitting 7 fours and 1 6, and Tristan Stubb, 37 of 27 balls, hitting 5 fours. Looking at the Australian bowling attack, Josh Hazlewood, 4 overs, 27 runs and 3 wickets. Glenn Maxwell, 4 overs, 29 runs and 1 wicket. Ben Dawes, 4 overs, 26 runs and 3 wicket. Adam Zampa, 4 overs, 33 runs and 2 wicket. And Nathan Ellis, 4 overs, 44 runs and no wicket. Tim David, who scored a brilliant 83 of 52 balls, was declared man of the match. So Australia dominated and taking their winning streak to 9 consecutive wins. They beat West Indies 5-0 recently in the West Indian tour, and this is another victory of Australian. Now they lead the 3 match series 1-0. Wishing both the team best of luck for the rest of the series. We come to the end of the show. Till the next program, it's goodbye from Sports 360.